closer to the elusive 7 championships.
It is such a neat opportunity, one that I'm so honored to have. There's so many emotions flowing in that just have me fired up, right?
Jimmie Johnson, and we saw earlier a little bit of debris on the racetrack. It didn't come from the 48, but Jack House asked, did you hit it? He said, sure did. Coming out of turn 4, you see it on the track, and the 48 ran it over.
Yeah, it looks relatively soft, other than that part that might be a piece of carbon fiber, but the hose that you see tumbling there, I don't think that's will do any damage. The other piece, perhaps, just need to make sure they look after practice at all, like see the oil lines, water lines, anything underneath the car that could be damaged.
Let's listen in, and this is what the 48 team had to say.
Did you hit that debris, you know? Yeah, it was a hose. When the tree decided to pull out in front of us, he just missed it. I just went over it. I did not go over it with the tire, but I feel like touched the splitter or came off the nose of the car.
There you have it. And once again, calm, cool, collected. But it seems as though we continue to talk about the 48 team with things happen. Yesterday it was qualifying. They went out early. Thought it might have been a mistake. They have to go out late just to get into the second round. Now, a piece of debris on the racetrack. Just so happens they hit it.
These are just small tests compared to what all 4 of these teams are going to face tomorrow. I think one thing we have seen this year is, you know, a 400-mile race is 400 miles for a reason. You know, there are ups and downs. It's a roller coaster. There's a lot of opportunity to make errors. There's a lot of opportunity to overcome those errors. And all 4 of these are going to face struggles at some point tomorrow. Which one rallies back from them, I think perhaps could be the difference.
Not just the championship 4 that'll be on the track, but you have to look at the 4 of Kevin Harvick and think favorite. Last 2 races here, he's finished 1st and 2nd. And those have been in championship situations. Now, the championship out of his reach, but you know that they still will be driving as hard as they can to get that trophy at the end of the race so that they can, you know, have the momentum going into the offseason.
The real question that I can't find an answer to, and I'm not sure we know the answer, is how do teams like the 4 of Kevin Harvick race those championship 4 in the closing laps? Kevin Harvick has every right to go out and try to win this race. And we saw last week Alex Bowman in the 88 be involved on that final restart in who 4. Not really by his own doing. I mean, he was involved. I won't blame him, but he was up there in the mix. Ended up making contact with Matt Kenseth, or Kenseth had contact with him, however you want to look at it, and it ended Kenseth's title hopes. Well, that was the qualifier, the cut race. What happens tomorrow here in the race, the championship race? You know, how hard will these non-championship 4 cars battle against the championship 4?
Alex Bowman was racing for his first ever win in the Sprint Cup Series a week ago, and as you mentioned, he definitely came into play as far as who would advance in the championship 4. After winning the pole for the weekend, went out and led over 100 laps, most he had ever led in a race, and then second to last restart. Got a little help from the 18 of Kyle Busch, was blocking. 20 comes down, there's contact made. Race leader Matt Kenseth goes spinning. And Alex Bowman at the end of the day said, didn't want to affect those guys racing for a chase, but at the same time, I wanted to be out there running for the win. Mike?
And Rick, regardless of the way that race ended, many members on his team telling me, look, it earned him some respect inside this garage. And one of the guys who certainly respected what he saw last week was a guy who's been behind the wheel of the 88 car several times this year, Jeff Gordon. I spoke with Jeff before this practice began, and he said it was awesome to see. He was so impressed by the way Bowman raced. And he said, look, it's really difficult when you're not in the car every week to get a rhythm. So for that spark to happen last week, that was big for Alex Bowman. And then Gordon joked a little bit. He said, hey, I flew back with Alex on the airplane last week, and it was funny to see. Alex was all over social media reading and didn't even realize. He said, I led over 100 laps in that race, to which Jeff responded, yeah, I led only about 6 so far. So he was pretty impressed with the way Alex Bowman ran last week in Phoenix.
Again, Jeff Gordon standing on top of the hauler. the 48 hauler as he continues to help out with the team. Joey Logano looking strong still again as he's got a top 10 speed already, running his 11th lap. Marty?
On his second run here, Rick, and they did go out on scuff tires for the first time, first run of the day here. I think all the other championship contenders went out on sticker tires. This 22 team has not put a set of sticker tires on this entire day here in both practice sessions. Thus far, they'll do that here shortly. Logano saying he's struggling with the handling of the car just a little bit, and they've had this left rear tire up all weekend long. Still can't quite get rid of that. They're worked on that a little bit as well. You know, one of the things that was interesting this week is I talked to Todd Gordon, his crew chief, in the middle of the week. He said, one of the biggest issues at the shop was that everybody kept coming up saying, what can I do to help? Can I do anything to help you guys out? He said, guys, just stop. Let me do our normal thing. I don't need all this help. But that's a good thing, Steve, when you have people wanting to help you out. But sometimes it can become a distraction with everybody walking up to you, over 300 people at Team Penske, by the way, saying, hey, how can we help out? We want to help you win a championship.
Well, it's absolutely what you're looking for out of your organization is support. And I understand both arguments. I think Todd Gordon is right that he wants to be kind of left alone to prepare the best way he knows how, but at the same time, you know, the company is designed to bring two cars to the racetrack, and Brad Keselowski and Joey Logano, and whether it's popular or unpopular, Joey Logano is the only one of the two that has that championship shot here at Miami. So if some effort can be swayed from one car to the other, I think Todd Gordon has to also accept that and try to put every bit of effort possible forward in this 22.
Joey Logano, the youngest of the championship four, at the age of 26, Middletown, Connecticut. Dave wanting to get his first ever Sprint Cup Series championship this weekend.